You're watching Rules of the Game with Bill Krug and Zach Farrell. Brought to you by these fine sponsors: Ace Cuts, Albert Sporting Goods, All Blaze Equipment Rental, Buffalo Wild Wing, Capability, Salina Cycle Center, Eagle Loan Company of Salina, Eagle 767, FCA, Fowler's TV, Freedom Marketing Strategies, Guarneri's Pub and Pizzeria, JT's Brew and Grill, Larry Schaff Auto Sales, MHS Alumni Foundation, Miller Funeral Homes, Minster Bank, Neck and Back Pain Relief Center, Plus One Professionals Real Estate, Writer Rooters, Roots Pub, St. Mary's Foundry, Sean Barnett Electrical, Speeds Chiropractic and Wellness Center, Spring Street Storage, TSC, and Varsity Lanes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rules of the Game with Bill Krug. I'm your host, Zach Farrell. Each week, I have local official Bill Krug here with us to look at some of the clips from the previous week's game. Bill, thanks for being here again.
Thanks, Zach. I enjoy it.
We got 12 clips from the St. Mary's victory over Elida in their final regular season game. Bill, I just thought before we begin in the clips, you could talk a little bit about what it's like for officiating once the playoffs start.
Well, the first 2 weeks, the regular crews, they try to get crews in that area. So St. Mary's is doing this game. So a local crew in the greater Lima area will be coming here to do this game. It's the entire crew will stay together and do the game. And then the next week, it'll be the same. Local crews will still stay in that area and do those games. And then after that, it's all, you're put into a big pot, and the coaches vote, league commissioners vote, and it's a voting system to see who gets graded the highest, and then they put those crews together to carry on through the playoffs. So
it's neat that you could have a completely different crew than the rest of the playoffs.
Oh yeah, I've been with guys from Cleveland, from Cincinnati, from Zanesville, all over the state. You know, they put you together.
So the playoffs are a little extra special for officials as well.
It's a thing that you shoot for, yeah.
Awesome. We're going to jump right into the clips. Bill, this first one was a face mask against Elida. I believe it was on Dylan Fink out here. He's running a sweep to the outside. And you can see right at the end there, sort of gets pulled down.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Yep. He went to just stiff arm him, and he actually looks like he grabbed his face mask, yeah.
And they call that a 15-yarder. Is that the correct call?
Oh, yeah. That would have been the head went down. All it takes is for the head to go down sideways, and you're going to get 15 out of it. Yep.
This was a play that we were remarking when it happened that there fortunately were no holding calls, and just our crew flagged it as just one to look at to make sure that whether there were any holding calls or not. Nothing was called. So this was a big cutback from Dylan Fink here. Just was curious if you saw anything.
No, I think if there's going to be a hold there, it's going to be on the offensive line right now. When they're blocking right now, somebody's going to grab someone and turn him to the inside because he's coming outside of them. That's where you would find the hold on that. But boy, I didn't see anything there.
Yeah, I didn't see anything either. I thought it was just a good one for everybody to look at. And,
yeah.
It's one of those good times that a cutback doesn't result in anything.
Exactly. A cutback can create problems for the blockers.
And then this next one was just a little false start. Now, the reason why I brought this up is because we talked during the broadcast. If Caleb Schmidt just continues to go into motion like he was supposed to. See, they waited to call it, actually. They didn't call it right away. Is he able to kind of go into motion and just start, walk?
Okay, see, when he jumped up and down, he gave himself up. You could tell, he jumped too soon. Now, if he would have realized right before he did that, okay, and he would have cut to the outside. I mean, that's normal. It happens all the time.
Give your coach a chance to call a timeout.
That's right. But when it's obvious that it's a false start, and it wasn't obvious until he gave himself up, really. See right there? He gave himself up.
Right.
Otherwise, if he had realized, I'm still good, and he would have cut and went in motion to the outside, he would have been fine. But was he supposed to get the ball on that play?
I think so.
Yeah. So
chances are every other play he's getting the ball. So yeah.
Yeah.
But at least maybe the coaches could have called a timeout at that point or something. So
yeah, they could have. Yes, you're right.
So this next play then was we thought maybe a face mask on the blocker. So right there you can see on number 1 and 11, if we can rewind just a little bit. So watch right in front of you right there. See 11 kind of grab the face mask, but he didn't really pull it or do anything like that. Nothing was called, but I think it just stuck out for a crew, and they flagged this one.
Yeah, that's a good no call there, don't you think? If it would have been anything, it would have been that 5-yard version, because he had his hand on there, and it kind of actually from behind, it looks like he does grab it.
Right.
But I think that's a good no call because there was nothing to it. I mean,
yeah.
So.
And at the end of it, we have just the same play from the side angle, but it doesn't really show too much else with that. So, all right, this next play then was there was no defensive pass interference called, but Elida wanted it, I think, on the outside. You can see that little cut move right there. The arm goes out, but I'll let you say. I don't want to.
Well, I think what they were looking for right there is a hold.
Right.
It would be defensive holding.
Okay.
They're not pass interference. The ball wasn't in the air yet. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would have been a defensive hold, which would have been 10 yards and still a first down. But yeah, they could have called that. I mean, because he did slow him down a little bit.
Yeah, and the ball was nearly intercepted at the end. So.
Yeah.
Well, this was an interesting play. This was the onside kick to start the second half from Elida.
Okay.
Fortunately, St. Mary's was able to recover it, but there was a couple things that we noticed here. First off, if you see that the Elida player with the pink socks, we thought he was definitely offsides. And then the second thing that we can talk about is just the ball did not go 10 yards, and so St. Mary's, smartly Compton goes forward and recovers it. But just a reminder about the rules: the kicking team cannot touch him until it goes 10 yards, right?
Correct. The kicking team can't touch it until it goes 10 yards.
Can they touch the St. Mary's players?
No, they can't. They can't go up and block the St. Mary's players out of the way and then have a trailing guy come in and get the ball that's still on the ground. No, they cannot do that. But it does look like he's offsides. The kid in the red socks or pink socks.
Yep.
And then the ball not going 10 yards. It doesn't have to go 10 yards for the receiving team to get it. So that's fine, but you're just taking a chance of, it hitting off and bouncing back. When you're going forward and the ball's coming at you, that's
right.
not easy.
So as soon as Compton touches that ball, it's live.
It's
so
live.
If he doesn't fall on it perfectly and keep it under him, then that's a live ball that didn't go 10 yards, and then it is recoverable.
Correct.
But the kicking team cannot recover it until it goes 10 yards if it's untouched.
Correct.
That's like right in the middle where, Compton's got to be smart about that, be sure he gets up there and is aggressive and gets the ball, because if it goes 10 yards, maybe Elida's jumping on it at that point. So.
Or he touches it, and as soon as he touches it, it's a live ball. They can get it no matter if it goes 10 or not. Now, if the kicking team touches it before it goes 10 yards, they touch it, and then it goes, say it goes to the 40. Say it goes another 15 yards, and St. Mary's recovers it. St. Mary's can now take that where it was first touched by the kickers. That's the first touching rule. So if they touch it, wherever they touch it first, if the kicking team touches the ball first, and then the ball goes beyond that, the receiving team can then, say they don't return it beyond that point, the receiving team can say, okay, we want it where it was first touched. So it's not going to be a flag, but there was going to be a beanbag where that ball was first touched. And so you can always refer back to, okay, you want it back there, or do you want to bring it up here where it was first touched?
So that's one of the things that we sometimes see the beanbags come out, and we think it's a penalty for a second, but it's not. So.
And it's not, yep.
Well, thank you very much. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have 6 more clips from the game against Elida. We'll be back with that and more right after this.
You're watching Rules of the Game with Bill Krug and Zach Farrell. Brought to you by these fine sponsors: Ace Cuts, Albert Sporting Goods, Hog Blaze Equipment Rental, Buffalo Wild Wing, Capability, Salina Cycle Center, Eagle Loan Company of Salina, Eagle 767, FCA, Powers TV, Freedom Marketing Strategies, Buenaries Pub and Pizzeria, JT's Brew and Grill, Larry Schaff Auto Sales, MHS Alumni Foundation, Miller Funeral Homes, Minster Bank, Neck and Back Pain Relief Center, Plus One Professionals Real Estate, Writer Rooters, Roots Pub, St. Mary's Foundry, Sean Barnett Electrical, Spees Chiropractic and Wellness Center, Spring Street Storage, TSC, and Varsity Lanes.
Welcome back to Rules of the Game with Bill Krug. I'm your host, Zach Farrell. Thank you to all of our sponsors all year for sponsoring us. As long as the Riders are playing, we're going to keep having these shows, so appreciate everybody for being able to sponsor us, and we wouldn't be able to do it without them. Looking at this next call, Bill, this we thought should have been a face mask that was called but wasn't. Let's watch this one more time from the running back. I believe this was Caleb Schmidt. And right there, you can see kind of the hand reach out and grab it.
And it looks like his head goes down too, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
And I think that's a face mask.
And it's really, right there in front of the line judge on that side.
Yeah,
and there's
kind of open.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anybody in front of it. I was just kind of shocked that it didn't get called in that moment when we were standing there.
Yeah,
so.
that looks like the 15-yard variety also.
This next clip is an interesting one. So towards the end of the game, St. Mary's is trying to run the clock out, and they're running this toss sweep from Schmidt. Now he clearly falls out of bounds, but the official keeps the clock going. Is that? Do you think he was saying that his momentum stopped inbounds, or we at first were upset with Schmidt, but they kept the clock going, so we weren't sure.
Well, watch where his knee hits. He's down as soon as the knee hits, so his knee hits inbounds.
Okay.
Watch right there. So he's in bounds when he's down.
Gotcha. There you go. All right. That's why we do this, because we were surprised when we saw it that had happened. So.
But can we go back and
Sure.
look at that again? Go from the very beginning of the look. Now is the left guard in the backfield? What does he have? His head is his head breaking the waist of the center?
No, it doesn't look like it. Center's way out there in front, isn't it?
Yeah. So
that's
the riders have to be careful of that, and he was pulling, so it was kind of you could almost tell what he was going to do.
Yeah.
But he was back there quite a ways.
That's a heck of an alignment. We can see it a little bit here on the next play. So this one was we called it a tush push when it happened there.
Yeah. That's illegal in high school.
Just rarely called, right?
It's rarely called, and if one was going to be called, that one should be called because he comes up and put his hands right on his tush and see there?
Right.
He's pushing, and the rule says you can't push, pull, or lift a player to help advance him forward. And if he just comes up and blocks the pile, if he pushes the guard, if he pushes the tackle, that's totally fine. But you can't push the ball carrier.
Right.
And that looks to me like that could have been called. I know, like you said, that's not going to get called very often.
No.
But if one was going to get called, that one would
That
have
would
been
have
the one
been
to
it.
get
Yeah,
called.
that was as obvious as I've seen.
Yeah, if you go in and hit him in the middle of the back, pushing that way, that's kind of going to be kind of tough to sell.
Keeping your hands in.
Yeah, but if he's pushing, right?
Yeah.
So riders have to be careful with that.
Absolutely.
Someone will call that.
This next play then, the Elida player kind of takes him and almost suplexes him, but kind of brings him down to the side. I just was curious if he did bring him right over the top and kind of suplexed him, could that have been called?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. That's a safety issue right there. He's kind of lucky that somebody else was there almost stopping him from.
Right.
Once he's lifted off the ground, they can blow the whistle because his forward progress has stopped. He's not. Once he's lifted off the ground, plays over, and then to take him back and slam him down, that would be a personal foul. That would be unnecessary roughness.
This next play, I think Matt Murray got away with maybe an offsides, but I wanted you to see for sure. So you can see he jumps and then brings himself back. If we can start it again. It kind of starts right on his jump, but he jumps over there.
Well, and what's good, I think that's good officiating, not calling that. I mean, if his head barely breaks that plane, boy, that that's
you're
close.
saying it should have taken like an Elida lineman maybe moving at that point?
Yeah,
Okay.
if a lineman would have moved and he would have been in the neutral zone there, even though that's not how the rule is written, I'm just saying that he was awful close to. That was so close. I think that's a good job of that official not throwing that flag.
Okay. Well, for the second week in a row, we had a bird flying on the field. So this is the last clip. We'll just watch Cole Mullins, 51 down below, and 59 right there, right at the end of the clip. Boom.
59?
Right at the bottom of your screen.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll watch 59. He's on the ground.
Yeah.
This is the last play for Elida, so their season was over. So.
Yeah. And
so that's an easy 15-yarder,
that's an
right?
easy 15 unsportsmanlike penalty, yeah.
And is that if you get 2 of those, you're ejected? Or?
Yeah, 2 of those, you're ejected. 2 unsportsmanlikes you're ejected. But you could have 15 personal fouls.
Yeah.
And you could still play.
And we talked about that being an issue for this is the last game of the season, but I believe Mark Sisko said that if you get ejected from this game, it can still carry over to next football season or the next sports season. If the rule is still the same from the state, is if he plays basketball, he's going to set out 2 games of basketball. Wow.
You set out 20% or 10% of the schedule. So in football, it's just 1 game because there's only 10 games. In basketball, there's 22 games now, I believe, but you would set out 2 games in basketball. So if he plays basketball, if he would have got thrown out and he plays basketball, he would set the first 2 games of basketball.
Gotcha.
If he doesn't play anything and he's only a junior and he comes back to play football next year, he sits the first game of the football season.
Well, the Riders have a big game this Friday against Copley here at Grand Lake Health Systems Field. We hope everybody comes out to the game, supports the Rough Riders in the playoffs. Hopefully we'll have some clips from the Rough Rider victory here for us to look at next week.
Yeah.
And we'll see everybody next time.
Thanks for watching another episode of Rider Nation Station. Help us help you by subscribing on YouTube or following us on Facebook.